Hi guys, it's Shannon with Apex Tarot Pure Spirit, and I'm just hopping in here to do our daily reading. If you're new, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy birthday, happy anniversary, and all of that good stuff. And I just wish everybody a happy day. So let's just jump in here and see what the divine has to say to us. Now, if you are new, there could be times that I come across a little religious, but I'm not. I'm just very spiritual. There is also some daily reads from my other channel down below, and your 48-hour readings that I did yesterday, and the 72-hour readings that will actually end tomorrow. Those are down below, as well as your Pisces season videos. So anyway, check those out if you're interested. If not, then okay, I'll just see you next time around. But let's go ahead and just jump in here and see what the divine wants to say in this reading for us. So today is the 9th, and we have our full moon, and I will be doing a full moon reading. So I normally do that on my other channel. And I will link that over here as I do. And obviously I don't put the spirit in a box. So if the spirit wants to have me do 2 of those, then I absolutely will. Okay. So thank you, sweet divine, for clear to find messages for this March 9th, 2020. What's the most important message for the one who has clicked upon this video? Okay, so we have the noon and the Dalet coming out here. Now, the noon came out in the fixed sign readings, I believe, which are down below, like I said. This represents, family and children. It represents a river. It can go back to death because it's about eternity here. It also is about a prophet, or we would say in our day and age now, somebody who is psychic. But this is a prophet. Somebody could speak a word by way of the divine and see something come to pass. Okay, it's about prophecy, things that are coming to pass as well. Inheritance issues with that eternity. Some of y'all could be, I've seen a lot of court energy today, or legal stuff in my readings today. And actually, all of today's date goes to the 7 vibration. There's victory here, absolutely, with self-control. But it's also the 7th house of judgment energy with justice. Okay, and that's for many of you who do have legalities going on. If you're in the upright, then, there's salvation here with this noon. And we got things that represent being an heir to a kingdom, which would be the upright kingdom. Obviously, if you're going to get a change today, it's 14. This is a change. That's reconciliation. 5 is also grace within that change. That's coming out here. You could like fishing. The noon represents fish. Obviously something very spiritual, and the sun right now is in the house of Pisces, which is the fish emblem in that house. This is Jubilee, things coming back to you after a 50-year period of time, or something that's been long ongoing for you. We've got all kinds of partnerships and stuff like this out here, government stuff, institutions of any kind, spiritual matters, mentors, teachers, reconciliation, all kinds of stuff with just the noon. And then we have the door here, which is the 4th letter of the Hebrew, and that's about the key. Back and forth movement, and people go back and forth. It's time to start a new week, and to get in your car and travel down the road and go to your jobs and stuff like that. This is also about feeling weak and poor, but there's salvation here. Dangling of the head, but there's deliverance here. Okay, if you've been dangling your head and you've really just been connecting with the divine and getting rid of karmic activities and stuff, the divine's going to be the lifter of your head today and change your countenance. Okay, because he loves you. That's a 9 vibration, which is today's date. All of this making the 9. That's the hermit energies. That would take us back to analyzing things and finding the wisdom that you need to lift your head. Okay, that's also routine stuff, work stuff. The 4 would take us to the boss, and a lot of that kind of stuff was coming out today in my other 2 readings. I won't get into all that. We have the D in the N. We have a Dan. Your name could be Dan. But if we're talking about prophecy, then we're talking about jubilee and stuff like that, and the divine saying, my sons and my daughters shall prophesy, and I'm going to give you back everything that the locust ate from you. And you've been going in and out of your house weak and poor because somebody did something to you, pushed your back up against the wall, and you've been faithful. There's salvation and deliverance for you in your situation here, because the divine loves you. So that's amazing. You've got high volume wisdom here. Things that have been around you that have been hidden and secret. The Hermit can represent, secrecy. Also can represent a healer. Okay, as far as, because we got the Hierophant energies here where hospitals can be found. It could be a doctor, could be dealing with your physician today, or something ongoing with your physician that's making you dangle your head or making you feel weak or poor or something like that. Okay, so we're getting, the D vibration is also our fourth letter, and it's the vibration of an M and a V. The D and V, traveling forward. The N is something new. The N, the E, the W. Beautiful. And which is also our 14th letter of our alphabet. So, let's see what this word is here. Let me just say real quick that the word today on my first video was end. And the divine just had me look at this, and something's done. Okay? And he's still going back up his word. He says something done. This is a new generation. Something brand new is taking place for somebody to be able to rest. To feel refreshed by a river here. Okay? That's amazing. You're going to be, I'm also seeing the word nude. And that's just being, cleansed. You have to take your clothes off to get into the river to wash, okay, and to be made new. That's a beautiful energy that I'm feeling. I don't know what the word is, but the divine had me see that off of what might be here in the actual dictionary of the word. So if you're new, I take all kinds of stuff from every avenue, from every angle. That'd be what the hermit does, goes within and looks at stuff. For healing, because the star is there. The 9th house is also about perception and seeing things from a higher point of view. It's spirituality as well as the Hierophant energy. So we got a lot of spiritual stuff here showing up here. And the divine says something's done. Something's going to be new. Something's going to be refreshed. Something's going to be blessed for you. So stop dangling your head. Lift it up. Okay, the divine's given a key today to something brand spanking new to get you going along your way. But you got to believe for it. The 12th house is about I believe is the motto of that house. You got to believe to receive it, okay, and know it without a shadow of doubt. I'm a part of this kingdom here. I've been faithful. And the divine said, well, here you go. Here's the key. So something's brand new. Something's done for something. And like I said, the moon phase tonight is a full moon. We release. And so the divine's just confirming it over and over again. Okay, so the word here, the ND, the nod is the word, or a mound. It says it's a back and forth movement such as shaking the head, which we already get that just with the D, the dalet itself. But it also means to toss something, as tossing something into a pile. Something that's just tossed away. Something's done. Turning your back on things that just don't serve you and I is really going to benefit us for our deliverance and salvation. Okay? When something is coming up to the surface to deal with, then we just toss it away. Okay? And be done with it. So something that's thrown about, because all it did just make you and I just nod our head back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's time to be done with something. So that's one word. So the word Dan, and absolutely, this part of the household here, means a ruler. To make a rule. It's also a quarrel, and obviously if there's been a quarrel and somebody's needing deliverance and salvation situation, then somebody's going to make a rule today and be done with it. Okay, so there's a judge here, and Dan is a judge in the Hebrew writings over this quarrel that's been going on. That's just been literally just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth in a situation. And the divine said, I'm done with it. I'm throwing it away. I'm tossing it. And no more. It's over. We got the 4 here. And the 4 is the death energy. And that's a complete transformation. Never be the same again. Never be the same. Something huge is taking place here in a very big way with this judgment today. I literally seen justice on both of my readings. Heavy, heavy, heavy. So there's obviously been strife going on. I'm just looking in this section here. Province, the jurisdiction of responsibility of a judge or a lord. So there's a judge here today. And say it's done and it's going away. And that's positive. Let's see what the divine wants to bring out here. People are going to be reconciling some things because of a very bad injustice that's taken place. I know that by way of what came out on the 48-hour readings and today's readings. Like I said, there's been a bad injustice somewhere. Or people literally did it on purpose to eat people's things away from their home and touch their assets and their, you know, the 13 goes to the 8th house, and that is other people's money and property. And, you know, you just don't do that. You're not going to get away with that kind of stuff. Okay? The divine says, not my people. I'm going to put judgment on that today. Deliverance is here. There's a brand new cycle for something. Somebody literally going to be washed clean. What do you want to bring out here, please, divine, on this message? Give me about 3 cards. There's stubbornness here as well. So the King of Pentacles, and that in the negative can be stubborn. Okay, that's a boss. That's a king, a part of an heir to a kingdom here. We have the 4 of Swords at the bottom. And so this does look like death itself, but this also resting. The word here on the noon is rest. I don't know what it is that you're catching this video, but the divine said for some of you something major could be happening at noon. Or something took place at noon in a situation. If this is after the fact, then, you know, looking back at for some of you, not all of you, but the word noon in the phonics is here. And that's time, and Pentacles is here, and that's time. And there's time to make a judgment on something in a situation. To rest this broken heart, whatever this financial stuff has been. It's Jubilee time. It's absolutely Jubilee time. No more dangling of the head. Somebody tossing something away. The King of Pentacles in the upright is a giver. So it's positive. So we have the, that's amazing to me, literally, and I don't read reversals, but I do sometimes if it hits me. This literally came out like this. But, and what's amazing to me is because in the 48-hour readings, it was in my deck in the reverse, which I stated on that video. I don't know why it was in reverse, but something's done. Somebody's getting out of this, you know, feeling tied up, not having, you know, a key to open some type of a door. There's rest here. There's rest here, and very much stable energy showing itself for help. A 10 is an ending, okay? There's reconciliation here with 14 swords. There's been a lot of words that have been spoken here. At the bottom of the deck is the moon. A lot of deception. And tonight, like I said, is the full moon. So it's coming out here. That's also the mother. We got children out here. Okay. Whatever's taken place, there's been a lot of emotional things that have been secretive and people hunting after things they shouldn't. Okay. Assets and money. Okay. Physical things here. Where people hadn't been faithful, the divine's seeing it. Putting a judge, there's a judge here. Look, the 9th house will go back to the law. There's been a snake in the basket, because that 9 in the Hebrew takes you back to the snake in the basket. Well, it's right here with the moon energy, and somebody's getting set free. Okay, there is this is the King of Wands coming out here. We got 2 kings, and you know, if this is a part of the same king, we do have the Emperor energy here. He has all 4 kings within him. The King of Wands is a spiritual influencer, but it's also a part of a family, heir to a kingdom. Okay, we got kingdom stuff coming out here. Spiritual influencers, a prophet, something very masculine is coming out here, showing itself, okay? To take care of deceptiveness, things that have been weak and poor, to say, I'm taking action on this, and we ain't gonna have it no more. Bye-bye now. This is at the bottom of the deck. This absolutely came out in my first reading. And there's sharp words in this water. The moon pulls on the water. Something very, very emotional showing itself here. And but at the same time, it's truthful, and somebody's going to be able to leave their head, leave stormy waters behind. They're being released. Somebody's literally being, look, there's a judgment here. There's a judge on the table today. On my readings, he's come up. I don't even know what to say to this. It's absolutely profound to me. Some people are literally going to come alive because they've literally been suppressed by some really bad deception here. Like I said, somebody in the 48-hour readings going to jail. It stated that there's been a bad injustice and it was a setup, and they're going to jail. Okay, there's high emotions here in a situation. There's a lot of sorrow showing itself as well. There's protection here. The King of Pentacles can represent somebody who's a protector. Okay, the moon represents hunting things, and people who have been hunted, literally, even like animals, need to be protected, by their mouth, energetically, physically, and spiritually and emotionally. All this is showing us is that somebody's going to get justice for what they've done, and something's being tossed away. No more. There's a cleansing here. A lot of this also is subconscious stuff from deep past stuff come to the surface, what the Judgment card represents here. There's deep love here as well with the moon. It's a romantic energy. Okay, so if you're reconciling with your partner or something like that, that's showing itself. There's the Knight of Coins, and that's the Knight that we want. I want to take a because that Knight is about being reliable. Obviously, somebody hasn't been reliable in a situation. I want to take a outcome card for y'all, and we'll call it a reading. Thank you, Divine, for your word. We got the Queen of Swords coming up for one thing, for the outcome. A judgment. Okay, a judgment on pride and ego. This is a divorcee. There's third-party situations that have happened here. We are seeing heirs to the kingdom coming up. The Queen of Swords in the upright is somebody who can detect that pride, and she will cut it away, because this kingdom of truth is not prideful at all. The Magician is here at the bottom. And in the negative, this is what's being thrown away, the manipulation, the trickster energy here. Okay? Somebody who's been a real good wordsmith, but in a negative way, is being cut away. There's a judgment here on that today. In the positive, there's going to be big time communication about that. Somebody's going to be able to rest and leave stormy waters behind. They're being untied today. It's Jubilee. It's Jubilee. It's Jubilee. Look at that. It's a celebration. Okay, it's absolutely a celebration. Somebody's going to get justice today, so that's positive. I'm just going to leave it at that, guys. So I'll just say, when the Divine speaks, he means what he says on serious things like this. Literally, he has spoken this word 3 different ways. And like I said, he means what he says. There's an end today. Somebody lose their job, somebody get divorced, somebody going to pay for what they said, for making you dangle your head, or this you're the lawgiver in something that's you're putting a judgment on something that's coming up, energetically for you. There's something that the Divine's saying, throw it, toss it away. It's time to get rid of it. It's time to move away from that stuff and be able to look in your own mirror today, and even be sharp with yourself if you have to. If you've been the person that's been deceptive, to look down into your own soul. If you're feeling conviction and you're a part of a kingdom, a true kingdom of truth, then you will put a judgment on something about yourself and change today and move forward in a positive way. This is what this channel's about. For us to wipe away and get, in that river and wash all things away that just don't serve us anymore. It just doesn't serve us anymore. And either you're going to find out who you are by what you do or don't do with these messages today, because the divine says it's time to release something at this full moon. So anyway, guys, I wish you well. Until next time, shalom.